Hey everyone, ABC2 meteorologist Mike Taylor with a video update on the tropics. We've been following them for the last couple of days. Everybody knows the tropics have been very active, but now at this point we'll be talking about Maria's next move and what role that could potentially play for the East Coast and the Mid-Atlantic. So let's jump right into it. You know this storm has been making headlines. Made landfall as a Category 4 storm for Puerto Rico, reached Category 5 strength just before that, and currently she's at a Category 2. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, it wouldn't surprise me at all if she reaches Category 3 strength and beyond. And that's because this storm has already gone through some eye wall replacement cycles, and there's some indications that it's still intensifying here. Even the eye wall is clearing, and it's also warming. So those are two indications as well of a intensifying or a storm that's returning to better health. With that said, anytime a storm goes through these replacement cycles with the eye wall, they can expand with their wind field, and that's exactly what Maria is doing. Hurricane force winds now, they're expanding. Let me go ahead and give you the distance tool here. This storm is expanding with the hurricane force winds about 90 miles, and then this tropical storm force winds almost 250 miles or so as a rough estimate. So it's a growing storm, and that wind field is going to stay with this storm and it's going to intensify as it turns north. So the next question is, where's it going? By this weekend, we'll still be hearing about Maria not only intensifying but making a northerly turn, and this is where the concern comes in. I've been noticing this track for this storm has been trending in a western direction. It's been trending west, and that's a concern, but I have a feeling that this is going to be a storm that we'll have to be very concerned with as we go into next week, and I'll break down why. Here's the pattern on what's going on. This is the upper level pattern, steering currents if you will, what we use to determine where these storms might go or what they may do. Here's a high pressure off to or towards the east. This is Jose. This is Maria. They may not look very impressive, but we're looking in the upper levels of the atmosphere, roughly about 5,000, about a mile up in the atmosphere. And we're also looking at the jet stream as well, which is way up there. Let's set things in motion here, and I want you to watch this. I have a feeling that Jose is going to interact with Maria. It's going to help Maria move north. They're going to interact, and it's going to bring this storm north. And we also have a ridge building over the Midwest as well as the East Coast. And that ridge, think of it as an open door for these storms. Yes, an open door for these storms to approach the United States. So Maria is going to do just that with that pattern set up. Timing is everything. This is where things get very interesting and why I think we all need to stay up to date on this storm. With the door open, if you will, this storm's going to move closer to the United States, and we have a trough setting up in the Midwest, or I should say in the plains. It's going to dip south. That trough, or deep cold front, will push Maria away from the United States, but look how close she gets before that happens. Gets pretty close. Too close for comfort if you ask me. Here's a look at Maria, and here's a look at the trough. Timing is everything. If this trough can get to Maria before she can make landfall, we'll be okay. If she can get to the coast before this trough can take her out, we're talking about a potential landfalling hurricane along the East Coast, and that puts the Mid-Atlantic in play. So that's why I say it's a storm we're going to have to keep up with. Now, the better scenario, the trough grabs her, kicks her out to sea, and the forecast headline after that is talking about milder temperatures returning after so many days in the 80s. So I want to leave you with that information so we can stay up to date over the weekend, because the weather's going to be super nice over the next 5 days, but I don't want that to lull you to sleep as far as staying up to date on Maria. It is expected to maintain major hurricane status through the weekend. It is going to travel along the coast over the next 5 days, and a U.S. landfall at this time cannot be ruled out, so be sure to follow updates just based on the pattern. But looking at the bright side of things, I do believe we can get through this system with it staying off the coast. Timing brings Maria very near the coast around next Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's going to be that bullseye time we have to stay up to date on. And thanks for joining us here at abc2news.com to get your forecast information. And as usual, we'll keep you up to date on the tropics right here on our hurricane page. Have a good one.